We have a series of exciting updates for you. Let's look at what's new in Hive this week. You now have the ability to include approvals when applying a project template. And when you're reviewing the proof, your approval status will now show other than awaiting review. You now have the ability to nest sub-actions in action templates. You can also assign placeholders from table view. You will now have the option to export only Gantt columns. You now have the ability to save custom statuses in chat. And lastly, you will now have the ability to remove no category from timesheets, and moving forward, copying timesheets will only copy over projects with time in them. Let's start with the first update. You can now include approvals when applying a project template. If you have any approval round templates saved in your project template, these will now be copied over when you apply a project template. When you're applying project template, you can choose to copy approvals, which will make it available in all action cards in this project. In addition to this, your approval status will now say currently reviewing when you are reviewing the proof. This will also send a notification to the approval requester that you are in the process of reviewing the document. This will help to minimize unnecessary back and forth between teams. You now have the ability to nest sub-actions in action templates. When you go into workspace settings, in action card templates, you will now see the option to add a nested sub-action in your template. Similar to all the other sub-actions, you can also customize the day, the duration, assignee, and even dependencies and time estimates of these nested sub-actions. Once you're done, make sure you scroll all the way down and save your template. You can now assign placeholders from table view. If you already included placeholders in your project, you will now be able to assign them tasks using the table view. You will now have the option to export only Gantt columns. To do this, you can click on More, go to Export, and choose to hide the timeline in Export. This will give you only the Gantt columns in your export and remove the timeline from your view. You can now save your custom statuses in chat. If you have created a custom status, you can now click on the Save button here, which will make it available as a custom status. You will now have the ability to remove no category from timesheets. Previously, when you were entering your time, no category would always show up, even if it's not filled in. You will now have the option to remove this and add the category that you only want to put time against. And moving forward, copying timesheets will only copy over projects with time in them. Previously, when you clicked on copy over projects from last week, it would include all the projects even there's no time in them. Now you will have the option to choose whether you'd like to copy the projects with no time in them as well. That's all we have for this week. Thanks to everyone who has requested features or voted in our community-driven Hive forum. We're proud to be community built. See you all next week.